Kettlebell sport is a relatively new sport in the grand scheme of things. Now, you might be looking to get started training in kettlebell sport, but might not have the necessary equipment or know what you should need in order to get started. So in this video, I'm going to go over 7 things that I think should be in everybody's kettlebell sport starter kit. Gotta figure out a new lighting situation. This shadow is gonna mess with me. So number 1 are kettlebells. Obviously, this is a no-brainer, I think, is that you should have access to kettlebells if you want to train kettlebell sport. And if you're going to be investing in kettlebells, I recommend investing in competition-grade kettlebells. So these are the ones that are all different colors. They have the steel frame. They're all the same size, no matter what weight you get. So if you're going to invest in kettlebells and you want to get into kettlebell sport, get the competition grade ones. Not only do you want to get those ones, but I would recommend getting doubles, meaning you would get 2 of each weight. And that gets to the next point, is what weight should you invest in? Well, if you're just getting started in kettlebells or kettlebell sport, try investing in some of the lighter weights and then work your way up. So men can start competing in anything from 16 kilogram and above, and women can start competing in anything from 8 kilogram and above. Use that as a starting point and go from there. Number 2 on the list is a weightlifting belt. Now, these belts are slightly different than your powerlifting belts, for instance, because these belts have a tapered edge to it. So the front is a little bit thin, a little bit less width, and the back has more width to it as well. Different companies have different rules and regulations with regards to what size belt you're allowed to have and the dimensions of it. So look at the individual organizations and look at what their size requirements are. But a lot of companies are coming out with these types of belts, so I'm sure you can find them. And you know what, to be quite frank, you don't necessarily need this to get started. I didn't start wearing a belt until probably, I don't know, 6 years in to training. I mean, when I set my jerk record actually in 2010, I wasn't even wearing a belt then. I've never really worn a belt before then. So really, is it needed? Not necessarily. Next up on the list is weightlifting chalk. So chalk, what it does, you put it on your hands and it prevents the sweat and moisture. Just drop that. It prevents the sweat and moisture from getting onto your hands and allows you to hold on to the kettlebell more efficiently. This is especially important in events such as snatch and long cycle. Next up on the list, number 4, are weightlifting shoes. Now, weightlifting shoes have a higher drop, meaning the distance from the heel to the ground to the forefoot to the ground is greater. Now, I already made a video on weightlifting shoes. Click the link above if you want to watch that one. There. Number 5 on the list is a training log. You need to be recording your training sessions every single day, or every day that you're training, obviously, because you need to know where you've been in order to know where you're going. In order to have a proper training schedule, in order to periodize correctly, in order to do all that great stuff, you need to be keeping a log. Number 6 is a spray bottle. Now, the reasons we use a spray bottle, and it's just water in here, you're just going to be spraying this on your abdomen, on your shirt. So what that does is, especially for things like jerks and long cycle, having a wet shirt right where your elbows meet your abdomen, that increases the friction on your shirt so that you're able to hold the kettlebells in the rec position much more easily. So investing in a $1 spray bottle, definitely worth it. And last on the list is a timer. Now, it doesn't have to be a digital timer. You can have an analog timer as well. Just, get one of those old school wall clocks. Definitely make sure it has the second hand, because the reason that we use these things is because when we are training, we often pace ourselves. So when we're training, I am pacing myself at a certain reps per minute, so RPM. Now, if I am aiming to do 5 minutes at 12 RPM, I need to keep myself on pace. So I'm going to be looking at the clock, and I know that every 5 seconds, 12 RPM, I'm going to be doing 1 rep. You're not going to be able to correctly pace yourself unless you have this. As you've been doing this for years and years and years, you can kind of guesstimate based on the amount of breaths that you take in between reps. You'll kind of intuitively know what pace you're at. But when you're starting out, this is absolutely crucial, and even to this day, I still use one all the time. So there we have it, the 7 items I believe should be in a kettlebell sport starter kit. If you think I forgot one or something should be essential that I didn't cover, please leave a comment below and let me know what it is. Next week, we're going to be going over the top kettlebell sport accessories I think everybody should have. So also comment below as to what you think that might be. So thank you very much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, click that like, and we'll see you next week.